Yo, what's good? Everyday Superpower signing in, kicking back. Place where you learn about body language, non-verbal communication, verbal communication, and everything in between, alright? Deary me. So, I'm going to ask you the question this time. I've been asking a few questions of recent, but this question is, do you know everything? Do you know everything, alright? And I say that because there's a lot of men out there who feel that if you aren't versed in a particular topic or subject, or even have an underlying foundational knowledge of a particular field, it's worthy to mock or bring up or so on and so forth. And I speak this because I speak real life. I'm a victim of this from time to time, and I know I'm not the only one. Oh, what? You didn't see that program? Oh, you didn't see that film? Oh, you're not aware of this and that? Where have you been? Man, what do you do? Do you know? Blah, 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 blah. There's 24 hours in a day, and we spend most of them hours just pissing them up the wall, let's be fair. So, why am I going to take the limited hours I have in order to align them with the societal norm, if not your norm? You see where I'm coming from? It's not right to ever step foot on another man's intelligence, because we all live and we all have our experiences, and the best part of 95, 96, 97, 99, 98% of our lives' experiences are those as to which another man hasn't experienced and can't comment on. So, if you are a person who does this, it makes sense to never, ever, ever assume a person doesn't have intellect or, lacks substance purely as they aren't as clued up or tapped in to what you deem important. I mean, politics would be a big one. The news would be a big one. Some people don't observe and spend their time within these realms paying attention, and they get by because they aren't like the other party, you see. And this must be common sense for a lot of people, but I'm sure as much as it is common sense, it's also a common happening that you will meet people who act a bit blown away purely as you don't share the same interests as them, and that's incredibly close-minded, isn't it? So I just don't want you to ever be on that wavelength, even as a joke, because to indirectly and subtly, if it is subtle, undermine another man's intelligence, they could strike you back with an incredible ferocity for that, because living in their head, they don't think they're stupid. They don't go around calling themselves stupid or this and that. They know what they know, and whatever they know, they probably have an incredible depth of knowledge on. You're just not aware of it, or believe that you need a broad general ground of knowledge in order to understand things. I mean, look at me. Yeah, and I'm going to speak on personal experience. I know nothing about space. I know nothing about space and so forth. So, when somebody asked me, and communication sort of came about, and I thought, you know what, this person's all right. They've got a nice standard of information that I find very interesting in regards to the realms of science. Then suddenly I become, a fan of science. And we do speak science to some extent on this channel within reason. I mean, we don't get all, jargony and stuff like that. We just say it as it is. But there is roots within the science, within the biology, psychology and so on and so forth. But then when I talk about not knowing a thing about space and asking them to elaborate on what they would deem, you know, basic information, because they have a deeper, or at least they perceive themselves to have a deeper understanding of this topic, you get a backlash of the contrary. So this person's supposed to be a teacher and an intellectual, or so they believe, yet they respond in a way which is actually quite ignorant by responding in an aggressive manner aimed at your intelligence because you don't know what they know. And the last video I put out is, would you say that to your boss? So let's apply that question here, as I think it's a great question to ask. Would this individual mock their boss for not knowing what they know in particular fields? And more than likely not. Do you know why? Because they would perceive their boss of having a great understanding in realms as to which this allows the time for them to grasp, you know, an understanding of space and its contents. But I guess that's just the way it is, you know. Gets into another talk in regards to spreading yourself thin. When we discuss, you know, intelligence and concentration and not applying your full concentration on a particular topic at hand, as opposed to just all over the place, right? Send your army everywhere, and everywhere your army will be weak. That's Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Always concentrate your forces. That's the 48 laws of power. So in a way, those which have a great understanding of the very basics of everything indirectly showcase a deep depth of understanding in near to nothing. You never know. You never know what a person knows or what they're capable of. So never judge their lack of understanding in a particular field as something which correlates directly to them being silly. That's basically the message I have today. Without further ado, I'm signing out, people. One love.